or the space between number 1 until number 2 is only 12 seconds. So you will have time 12 seconds to answer the questions. Answer correctly, answer the question correctly, and also answer it fast. Hello, welcome back again in critical listening class, and today's discussion we're going to learn about part A, which is talking about skill 1 until skill 17. And learning outcome of our meeting today is first, the students will be able to focus on strategies of understanding and answering academic listening interval tests. Second is, students will be able to identify the meaning of the dialogue or the short conversation. And the third one is, students will be able to identify the best answer of the questions related with the dialogues or short conversation. Well, let's little bit reviewing about the previous video, which is talking about listening section or section 1. So last session or last video, we have learned about part A, which contains about short conversation, and it contains 30 questions. Next is the part B, longer conversation, which contains about 10 or more or less 10 questions. And also next is about part C, which contains about short talk, and there will be 10 questions, more or less 10 questions. So the total number of questions, it will be 50 questions. Well, another one that we have to remember is that the time to answer the questions or the space between number 1 until number 2 is only 12 seconds. So you will have time 12 seconds to answer the questions. Answer correctly, answer the question correctly, and also answer it fast. Okay. So we are going to start the discussions of part A with the directions. Refresh about the directions, and let's review or let's listen again about the direction for part A. Okay, well, after you hear about the directions, so there will be 30 questions followed after the directions. So, before answering those 30 questions, today we are going to learn about the skills, how to answer the 30 questions. And there will be, in part A, there will be 17 skills that you must master it before you answer the 30 questions. So what are the skills that you are going to learn? Well, this is the skills. Well, number 1 till number 3, it's going to be talking about the strategies. The strategies. Skills number 1 is that focus on the last line or the second line. Next, skill number 2 is choose answer with synonym. And then third one is avoid similar sound. Next is skill number 4 is about who, what, and where. Okay, and skill number 4 is draw conclusion about who, what, and where. And the next is listen. Number 5 is listen for who and what in passive. Skill number 6 is listen for who and what with multiple nouns. After that, skill 7 until 10, it's going to be about negative. Skill number 7 is about listen for negative expression. Skill number 8 is listen for double negative expressions. And next is skill number 9 is listen for almost negative expressions. And skill number 10 is listen for negative with comparative. Well, we still have 7 skills left. And now skill number 11 and until number 13, it is about functions. And skill number 11 is listen for expressions of agreement. Skill number 12 is listen for expression for uncertainty and suggestion. And the next skill number 13 is listen for empathic expressions of surprise. We have 4 more skills discussed. Okay, next is about contrary meaning. Skill number 14 and 15 is about contrary meaning. And skill number 14 is listen for wishes. Skill number 15 is listen for untrue conditions. Okay, next, the 2 last question in part A is about idiomatic language or idiomatic language. And skill number 16 is listen for 2 and 3 part verbs. And the last one, skill number 17, is listen for idioms. Well, that was all about 17 skills of part A. And anyway, by learning these 17 skills, it will help you all to answer the questions in part A. And the number of the question in part A are 30 questions. Okay, next, we're going to discuss the skills in detail. Are you ready? Let's start. The skill number 1 until number 3 is, alright, skill number 1, focus on the second line or focus on the second speaker. Well, in this skill, you need to really focus on the dialogue, of course, the short conversation. But more, you need to focus on the second people of the conversation or the short conversation of the dialogue. Why? Because of the second speaker will be the one who will be asked by the narrator, and then we must answer the question. So there will be first speaker and there will be the second speaker, and the narrator will direct the question to the second speaker. Okay, so for example, you hear in the dialogue, you hear the man said, okay, the woman said, was anyone at home at the Barb's house when you went here to deliver the package? And the man said, I rang the bell, but no one answered. What does the man imply? Okay, so from the dialogue, the first speaker is a woman and the second speaker is a man, and the narrator, address the question, what does the man imply? So the man, what does the man imply? The second speaker will become the focus of the question. So we will try to search the answer based on the second speaker. So the second speaker, it's not always a man, but sometimes the second speaker, it could be also a woman. Okay, so it is really based on the conversation. Okay, all right. So that is about the, what's that? That is about the first skill, which is about focus on the second line, okay? And from the dialogue, so you can choose which one is the best answer. A, Barb answered the bell. B, the house was probably empty. C, the bell wasn't in the house. Or D, the house doesn't have a bell. So based on the second speaker or the second person on the dialogue, so which one is the best answer? If you choose B, the house was probably empty, yeah, you are right. Because of what? Because the second speaker said, I rang the bell, but no one answered. I rang the bell, but no one answered. It could be, you know what? We can take the conclusion that the house was probably empty. Okay, next, we're going to go to the next skills. This is about the second skill, or skill number 2 is choose answer with synonym. Yeah, synonym, it will become the clue. Okay. Oftentimes in listening section, you will you know what, see some synonym in the dialogue, in the conversation, and also matching it up and the answer choices. So it will be, you know, it will be better for you to choose the answer with the synonym between the dialogues, the conversation in the dialogue, the short conversation in the dialogue, and also the choices, the answer choices.
Selanjutnya, kita saksikan video kiat mencegah penyebaran COVID-19.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pertumbuhan penderita COVID-19 di 2021 ini semakin meningkat. Tentunya ini tidak hanya berdampak terhadap kesehatan kita, tapi juga berdampak terhadap perekonomian Indonesia. Oleh karena itu, marilah bersama-sama kita memperjuangkan melawan COVID-19 ini. Protokol kesehatan tetap wajib kita laksanakan, walaupun telah divaksinasi. Mari kita melaksanakan 5M. Memakai masker, mencuci tangan, menjaga jarak, mengurangi mobilitas, dan menjauhi kerumunan. Marilah kita kembalikan kejayaan Indonesia ini dengan kesehatan dan pertumbuhan ekonomi yang semakin baik dengan bersama-sama kita melawan virus COVID-19 ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih sudah menyaksikan video pembelajaran ini. Jangan lupa like, komen, dan subscribe, serta nyalakan tanda loncengnya agar kalian tidak ketinggalan informasi update lainnya. Adios, above you.
Hey, shawty, yeah, body, 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 body.